Now, when the alarm goes off in your workplace, how long do you think it'll take you to get to the panel, someone to call the fire brigade, and go check the zone? How long do you think it'll take you to get there? Minute, minute and a half? Well, what are you likely to get when you get there? Well, I'm going to show you some video footage now of how a fire spreads in a room. Watch this video footage. Now, as you can see, that fire's just ignited there. We're looking now at about 15 seconds in. Now, a smoke alarm would have gone off at about 30 seconds. Now, whether furnishings meet the furnishing regulations or not does not mean they don't burn. It just means they don't burn as well. The problem is actually they give off more gases in a fire, more toxic gases. Now, that fire's been burning now for only 30 seconds. Now, let's have a look at this. Now, the flames have ignited the arm of the sofa. If you walked in that room now and you had a 9 litre water extinguisher, do you think you'd be able to put that fire out? Yes. A 9 litre water extinguisher is generally rated to 113A, which means a 1.3 metre crib fire. In other words, it would put out that fire at that stage. We're a minute in now. Would you be thinking about fighting that fire? Not really. Now, hot air's rising, as you can see, due to convection. It travels across the ceiling, starts to cool and comes down. Now, smoke is beginning to appear at the top. The reason you get smoke in a fire is there's not for oxygen to convert the flames with the oxygen into carbon dioxide, and you get a lot of carbon monoxide off and a lot of smoke. There we go, now the smoke appearing there. The flames are starting to approach the ceiling now. 1 minute 47 seconds. As you can see, the smoke level there is increasing, and there's enough there to trigger the alarm in the hall because the smoke detector's gone off. Now, this is the most important thing. Watch the fire growth now from 2 minutes. The next 30 seconds, you can see the flames travelling across. Everything's heating up in the fire. You can see that. Everything's heating up. And what you're going to see in a minute is a flashover where everything burns up. There you go. Flashover. 2 minutes 30 seconds. That's how fast a fire can burn in a room. That's how fast a fire can spread in a room. Right, scenario again, then you're going down the corridor, you're looking up for the red light on the detector, you can't find it. You go to a door, no smoke, you check the door at the back of your hand, no heat, you crack the door open. You look in the room, there's no sign of fire, you go to the next room. What happens if you check all the rooms in that zone and you do not find any red lights on the detector? What does that indicate? What does that indicate? People say to me, it must be a false alarm. No. It means the fire could be somewhere else. Do you understand? You cannot call that a false alarm. A false alarm is when you go to the zone and you find the red light. If you find the red light on the detector, then you can argue it's a false alarm. It's not a false alarm if you don't find what it is. Now, if you do find it's a false alarm, in the building, you check the rest of the zone, you found the detector that's gone off, no sign of fire, should you let the fire brigade know? Yes. Why? What do we do differently? Well, if we're on the way to a fire, as you can imagine, we're driving at higher speeds. If you ring us up and tell us it's a false alarm, we will slow down. Generally, the fire brigade will still come. Yeah, they will still come. One pump might be sent back and the other one will slow down. So it is important you let the fire brigade know it's a false alarm if you know it's a false alarm. If you don't know, don't do that. Now, in the care industry, how do you evacuate your residents? You've got a building with 17 residents, 2 members of staff. 2 members of staff. Yeah? That's nearly 9 each. Are you fit? Are you fit? Are we going to turn up and find all 17 residents lined up and 2 members of staff outside having a fag? Is it possible in care homes initially to evacuate the whole premise on a night particularly? No. So what you need to carry out is progressive horizontal evacuation. This is the strategy adopted in a lot of care homes. What happens is, wherever the fire is, you isolate, you get the people in that zone past another fire door. Progressive horizontal. So initially, you move them out of the zone. That should give them another half an hour in the fire door. So that's an half an hour for the door where the fire is, and another half an hour, an hour. Do the fire brigade normally turn up within an hour? If not, would you ring us back? What we're saying is you move people out of the zone, out of a zone initially. Now ultimately you should have a full evacuation strategy from your workplace, but this may take some time, so at least initially you have progressive horizontal evacuation. You move the people out of the zone horizontally, but you should have some means of evacuating, which we'll come on to a bit. What you should have actually done in your workplace is what we call PEEPs. PEEPs are personal emergency evacuation plans. You should have done this for all of your residents, and what it's identifying is what assistance level will they require in a fire or an emergency. Some might need wheelchairs, some might not, some might need assistance. Good example, autism. I went to a home that had an autistic child. When I say autistic, he was 15 years old, very, very strong, but when the fire alarm went off, all this autistic child did, he put his hands in his head and he kept screaming and screaming and screaming. They couldn't move him, and if you came near him, he'd punch out at you. This was freaking him out, the alarm going off. The manager said to me, what we're going to do, because if there's a fire, we can't just leave him, can we? No. What can you do to evacuate that person in that building then? What can you do? Have you got any ideas? Turn the fire alarm off. It was a small care home. What they decided to do was get everybody else started to move. Right, get to the panel, silence it. Come on, John, we're going to get you out. Get that person out, then reset the fire panel. That's what they did. It's called a PEEP. Personal Emergency Evacuation Plan. Make sure you've done them for all your residents, and don't just put them in a folder. Put a summary somewhere so people know, relief staff know, this person requires a wheelchair assistance, this person doesn't. Do you understand? You need to do that, PEEPs, in your workplace, and your evacuation strategy is based on your PEEP. Advice from the fire brigade can be sought if you've got any real issues. Now again, just to reiterate, as you can see on here, there's a fire in one of the bedrooms. What's the evacuation strategy for this? If you can get that person out of the room, if possible, without taking personal risk, but the others should come out of that room. Progressive horizontal evacuation before they come out. There you can see you've got your 2 doors protecting, which should give an hour. Progressive horizontal evacuation. That's how it works. And then you'd look at moving other people further along. You start zone 1, move them across to zone 2, then move them across to zone 3. Hopefully the fire brigade should be there by then. That is how you evacuate. As I said, you should have a method of evacuating residents vertically as well. You should have some means of evacuating. Now, there's a number of options available. This is one of them here. This is an evacuation chair. This is what it looks like in the corridor. That's been there. But don't just provide evacuation chairs and no staff training. If you've got these evacuation chairs, make sure the staff know what to do. How does an evacuation chair work? Well, have a look here. This shows you here, diagrammatically, what happens. Basically, the guy there takes it down the stairs. That's how they work. They can go downstairs. Evacuation chairs are designed, they're like skis, they go down the stairs. Yeah, but make sure your staff are trained on how to use them. Another method is the evacuation mat, and this method seems to be preferred by a lot of care homes, as this video will show you how it works. It seems to be a better method of getting people out. Evacuation mats, and this video will show you how it works.
A new revolution in the effective transportation of patients in emergency situations is here. The LBAC mat, your evacuation and rescue necessity. The LBAC mat is an innovative, compact and lightweight stretcher-like assembly which is used to quickly and efficiently evacuate frail, immobile or unconscious people away from potential life-threatening situations. The LBAC mat is made from customized corrugated polypropylene board with a strong lightweight canvas material weighing less than 1 kilogram. The polypropylene board acts as an insulator to the patient, absorbing any concussions while in transit. This means it will travel over all types of surfaces, including steps and rough terrain such as gravel and bitumen, with the patient safely cocooned in the LBAC mat. The board glides easily over these surfaces, as well as carpet and other indoor flooring, minimizing the effort required by rescuers to evacuate patients. All LBAC mat straps are made from first-grade seatbelt material, are brightly coloured for easy detection, and are double-stitched to the canvas for heavy weight-bearing situations. The LBAC mat has been tested to withstand up to 470 kilograms of weight. There are 2 sizes of the LBAC mat, standard and large. Both sizes carry the same features, with the exception of the larger being wider at the torso, having carry handles down each side, an extra securing strap and a thermal cover for greater patient comfort. The unique patented LBAC mat has been finalised over a lengthy period to ensure its suitability in all types of situations and is manufactured from materials which have been chosen for their practicality and ability to provide longer protection from fire and heat. The polypropylene board has been tested to provide maximum protection up to 85 degrees Celsius. The following instructions highlight the easy-to-use system required to evacuate patients quickly. Lift the LBAC mat from its storage position, ensuring the Velcro tab is facing you. Stand at the foot end of the bed or place of rest, keeping hold of the handle, and with a flick of the wrist, unroll the LBAC mat beside the patient. Roll the patient onto their side and ensure the LBAC mat is laid out flat behind the patient and as close to their back as possible. Roll the patient onto the center of the mat. Place the patient's feet in the foot pocket and then secure the torso with the side straps. Using the most comfortable of the 3 straps at the head end of the mat, move the patient to the designated assembly point. Once the emergency situation has passed, the LBAC mat can be easily wiped clean and rolled back up for storage and possible future use. There are 5 good reasons why your facility needs the LBAC mat. 1. Fast evacuations. The LBAC mat enables rescuers to move patients out of danger quickly and safely. 2. Occupational health and safety requirements. With correct use, the LBAC mat places no physical pressure on the rescuer, enabling them to perform multiple evacuations if required. 3. Multi-purpose. Simple and safe evacuations enable rescuers to move patients over all types of surfaces, is ideal in small areas, and is reusable. 4. Ease of use. Clear instructions are visible to all users, and the LBAC mat is simple to use, allowing untrained personnel to perform evacuations safely. 5. Life-saving. Simple and safe evacuations enable rescuers to move patients more quickly in situations where time is critical. If the LBAC mat is required, evacuations can be performed with a minimal amount of stress to both the patient and the rescuer because of its simple and effective structure. When used correctly, it places no physical pressure on the rescuer, enabling one person to perform multiple evacuations if required.
Now that completes this section on evacuation. What you've got to do now is make sure you are familiar with your fire panel. Your fire panel. Go to it, make sure you can read it. Some of these zones are rubbish to say. Zone 1 is bedrooms 1. Make sure you can read your own fire panel. Ask for a copy of your own fire procedures. Make sure you know what they are. They're all based on what I've talked about, progressive horizontal evacuation, but you should make sure you know in your workplace what they are. Ask the manager for a copy. If you're not sure of something, ask.